Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 100th episode of the FearFans podcast. I'm your host, Don Elmy. With me is Nick, Robert, Tom, Kate, and Joe.
Well, Kate, she's kind of here.
Woo, we made it. 100 episodes.
Yes, 100 episodes. Jane, right just in time for the Halloween season. And so I decided to, this time we should cover one of my all-time favorite movies. It's my second favorite horror movie. It's my second favorite horror movie. It's my favorite slasher, and it's one of the biggest classics of all time, and it's Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Yes. Like that is one of the most, like, even just that song alone, the music is iconic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The thing I think about the most is dude falling down the stairs. That
Arbogast, yeah.
that was very oh God, what's I had the right terminology for it earlier when I thought about it, and I can't.
Yes, I mean Alfred for always wanted to do for this movie. He really had a very unique way of doing it. He had it filmed in black and white, to really like create that kind of isolation, that kind of atmosphere, like really build and also those camera angles to help out too in certain scenes, like that Arbogast when he goes down the stairs. Oh, let's see.
That was Jeremy who just left. He what he was doing, Don, he spoke in the private chat. He was going to keep an eye on making sure that the network page was actually going live, and he just confirmed that everything's fine, so he doesn't need to be backstage anymore. So we're good to go.
I gotcha. Let's see, Billy. Oh, wow, that's actually in the 1998 remake. Yes, that remake was a joke to me.
I got what the terminology was now. It was very Orwellian.
Yes.
Yes. The whole like with how like the camera was like zooming out while kind of zooming in at the same time, and he was like falling down the stairs. And
oh yeah, and researching this movie over the past how long has it been since I first saw this? I was a freshman at college on my winter break, and I said to check out Psycho, and that's when I first saw it. Hey, and
Sarah.
Yep. And during that time, I looked up all kinds of facts about this movie that things that really made this movie history. And I was kind of surprised to learn that this is the first American film to have a toilet filmed.
Really?
Yeah. Like in the bathroom scenes. Yeah. I was thinking, huh.
There was even TV shows that didn't do that. Like whenever you saw like on the Brady Bunch when they showed the bathroom, you never saw a toilet.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah. What did Hollywood?
It's like, wait, where did they go?
Yeah, where did Hollywood?
They went out on the AstroTurf in the backyard.
Yeah, what did Hollywood have against toilets?
I guess toilets just didn't exist.
Everybody just held it in.
Yeah, what did they have against toilets?
They held it in until the 70s.
Well, you never saw it on 24 either. They would have had to go on some point in time.
Yeah. Oh, here. Billy's asking, which Hitchcock movie did I see first, Psycho or The Birds? I saw The Birds first, and I remember the exact day I first saw it. It was January 1st, 2000.
Wow, I saw it a lot longer before that.
Yeah, we were up in Galena celebrating the New Year, celebrating the new millennium, and of course, being the huge horror fan that I was back then, as I am now, I was watching scary movies on TV like Jaws 2 and then The Birds, and that's how I first saw The Birds.
When I was a kid, I thought The Birds was kind of lame. I don't know. It wasn't scary to me as a kid. Because I'm like, all right, well, if you had a flamethrower, it wouldn't be a problem.
Well, they didn't have flamethrowers for situations like that in 1963.
They were around.
Especially with that guy in the chair. And they turn him around slowly and his eyes are gone. That was terrifying.
Psycho got me when I was a kid.
And Alfred Hitchcock always did have a very unique ways of filming. He was just trying new things. One thing he did try in The Birds, which he felt like added more suspense and more kind of tension, is by not having one thing that you usually hear in movies. Why don't you guys try to guess what that one thing is? What did The Birds not have that movies typically have?
Wilhelm Scream?
CGI.
No, what do you hear in movies?
A soundtrack.
Oh,
yeah, there was no music in it.
No music.
Really?
That's
No
right.
way.
I never thought about that.
It's silent.
Not even in the end credits or anything?
Nope.
Not even the end. The only,
Wow.
in fact, the only source of music in any part of Psycho whatsoever, Birds whatsoever, is the trailer, and that's it.
Hey, Noreen.
Hey, Lois is in the house. What's up, Lois?
She was
Oh.
asking where her friend is. That's why this dude popped up.
Tom, I gotta ask real quick: is this one of your subscribers, Tony B?
Sure is. What's up, Tony? What's going on, buddy?
Tony. In 57, you could see tanks, but not the bull. Kohler presented the commercials against FCC regulations because media wasn't limited like today. But yeah, Tony, glad to see you here.
Yeah, he's one of my awesome subscribers, man.
Nice.
Well, welcome to the not totally uncensored, because I don't go crazy on here on FearFans, but I have in the past. You know, I'm not going to say I've overstepped my bounds here and everything, but now we're a couple more beers deep than we were on my live feed. So,
and so, yeah, this movie was based on the novel by Robert Bloch, who was inspired to write Psycho after learning about a real serial killer named Ed Gein, and he had some
How many different guys were based off of Ed Gein? For Christ's sake,
3.
I think there was more.
There was more than 3.
Hey, Jill. Jill's
Holy crap!
Welcome back.
And this movie came out 3 years after he was convicted.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Caught and convicted.
Yeah.
Jill's in the house.
Yes. Welcome back, Jill. It's been too long.
Happy 100.
Tony B wouldn't know this, but Jill was a staple for the FearFans. She's been gone for some time. She's back now.
Yes.
And we're all very happy about it.
Yeah.
Very happy.
I'm absolutely thrilled.
Finally.
Buffalo
Girls
Bill.
back.
I'd do me. Would you do me?
How have you been?
Is that how you say it? Ed Gein?
What's wrong?
I don't know. I couldn't hear. She kind of cracked up there a little bit, but. See you later.
All right, Lois.
See you later, Lois. Take care.
Take care, Lois.
Hello.
I'll see you
Sorry, that
Thursday.
didn't work.
I think the character Norman Bates was the character that was based on Ed Gein the most. That was the most accurate.
Yeah,
because he dug up his mother and had his mother sitting up there like that. And Ed Gein claimed that he was like communicating with his mother at one time.
That's right.
Norman.
Because Ed Gein lived isolated. He was never married. He just lived alone on his property, just like Norman Bates did, and also he dressed himself to make him appear as somebody else, just like Norman Bates did. You know,
like a clown or something, wasn't it? Or...
No. You're thinking of John Wayne Gacy.
Oh yeah.
No. Ed Gein was what only Ed Gein did it in a more disturbing manner. He was a grave robber. He stole skins off of corpses and made clothing out of it. You know, try to change his
furniture.
Or make furniture.
His entire house.
He used the bones too. So
he was
when the sheriff discovered what was inside that house, you know, the reports claim that a few of those officers got sick, had to go out because it was that disturbing.
Yeah, Ed Gein was very sick in the head.
Even
the house got burned down shortly after that.
Most serial killers are sick in the head,
and that property has stayed vacant.
Yeah, to this day. To this day, it's still vacant.
Is the house still there?
I was out there not too long ago. I was out there not too long ago taking pictures and photographs of the area.
Yes. And wow, you did?
The house was basically burned
I
out.
even went to the gravesite.
Oh.
Yeah, his gravesite has also been vandalized as well, which he's basically been buried in an unmarked grave.
Between his parents, or next to his parents and his brother.
Yeah.
And the headstone is sitting in some guy's basement because he kept getting stolen.
Yeah, I imagine they wouldn't have his actual headstone there because that would have been either stolen or heavily vandalized. So
just get like a plastic one.
You know, you could see the blank spot between the two family plots that are there. You know, like his mother and his brother, and
Right.
which they claim, you know, they only got him for 2 murders.
Yeah, it was 2 confirmed, and those are ones
But
that he confessed to.
they also believe that he killed his brother as well.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, like people don't really know the exact body count. Like the 2 were confirmed, but the people think there could have been more. But at
Yeah.
the same time, those remains in his house could have been from the grave robbing. So, you know, who's to say?
Yeah, it's hard to say because as he's always been dubbed as a serial killer, even though he was only convicted of 2 confirmed murders. And usually the rule is, you know, if you commit 3 or more murders, that's when you're eventually a serial killer. And it's just hard to tell if he really committed. Yes, he was confirmed for the 2, but it's hard to say if he committed more.
Back in the 50s, there wasn't much for forensics.
Right.
You know, so when they found like his brother's body, you know, it was like deemed an accident. You know.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
you know, his mother was, you know, a suspicious death, but they didn't have proof.
Right.
after he killed Captain Crunch and Sonny from Cocoa Puffs, they knew he was a serial killer.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Yeah, but
I keep reusing that joke every chance I get.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to answer
well,
this.
One final thing to bring up, like what you just said, Joe, was even when the officers checked out, investigated the house, like where they discovered all these different parts of corpses. I mean, there was even supposedly, I guess, a response from one of the officers that said, because as soon as they came back to the squad car, their first question was like, Ed, what have you done? Like, what the hell's wrong with you? That kind of thing. So they didn't even have to say that maybe he done it. They just knew it was him, behind all this macabre horror, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had John Larroquette do the oh wait, no, that never mind. That was a Texas Chainsaw.
Oh, I wanted to answer this question. Billy was bringing up a comment saying that that to answer your question, Tom, that Ed Gein was the inspiration for 3 serial killers in horror, and those 3 are Norman Bates, and then Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs, and Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I feel like it was more though for some reason.
There was
there's the 3 main ones.
There was eventually a movie made. I was going to say there was eventually a movie made just for Ed Gein himself, a dramatization.
Yeah, I feel like there was more jump off characters than just those 3 for some reason, and I don't know why.
Yep, he's got it.
I feel like I've
there.
What?
He had a copy of the movie.
Oh.
You get all excited.
So yeah.
And it's
Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw
kind of
Massacre.
ironic that he was also buried in one of the cemeteries that he was robbing from.
That's right. That's true.
And two of those graves that he robbed were just above where his family is.
Yeah, and let's see. I wanted to talk about some of the cast in this. In Psycho, there was Anthony Perkins, who played Norman Bates. He's done a lot of TV, a lot of movies, a lot of theater. Yeah. The guy was all over the place. And then I believe one of the last roles that he was supposed to do, but then he died, was on The Simpsons. He was supposed to play a dentist. Yeah, but then when he passed away, they had to give the role to someone else. That was back in 1992, I think.
Yeah, he did. It was either 91 or 92.
Oh yeah, and I was shocked when I learned about his widow. His widow was actually on one of the planes in 9/11.
Really?
Oh, really?
I was shocked when I learned that. Yeah, and let's see. Here, I wanted to look up the. I think the only cast member that's still alive today from Psycho is Vera Miles, who played Lila, who played Marion's sister. And I think she's got to be like 95, like in her 90s by now.
Wait, she's still alive?
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I believe so. All the other cast members are long gone.
I didn't think that she'd still be alive. I thought she passed away several years ago.
Let me see. Vera Miles. Let's see. Yep, here she is. Vera Miles. Let's see. 95 years old, born 1929.
Jeez.
Let's see. Yep. Let's see. Born in Oklahoma, had 4 children. let's see. Yeah. Like she was also in the second film. She was in Psycho 2, where she reprised her role as vengeful Lila Loomis, who really wanted Norman to be put away again. But yeah, the whole premise about Norman is that he runs a isolated hotel in California, the Bates Motel, and he is apparently being like dominant. He has a domineering mother who like is confined to the house up the hill from that motel, and apparently like the movie makes you think like the mother is committing the murder, so including in that iconic shower scene. Seriously, that scene has been parodied more than any other horror scene I know.
Oh my God.
I was just going to bring that up. That shower scene has been in everything from animated series to just almost everything. I mean, it's one of the most copied scenes in movie history.
At the time too, it was terrifying. Like it really scared the hell out of audiences.
Well, everything was done in black and white, and I think that had that effect to it, because
it didn't have to be done in black and white at the time,
but I think
color was still expensive.
I think that they did great doing it in black and white.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, like I said, you have to remember too, color at that time was still expensive. So black and white.
I mean, for the money they had for the budget they had for the film, I mean, most of Alfred Hitchcock's stuff was in black and white. So I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Even though they had the ability to have color at the time, and I think like black and white gives a different ambiance to a movie.
Yeah.
Like even a silly movie like Young Frankenstein, if that had been done in color, it would have been a totally different movie.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah.
Well, more importantly too, with black and white, and not just for Psycho itself, but this even goes with Night of the Living Dead. If you film it in black and white, not only is it also a cheaper budget, but more importantly, the black and white sometimes it makes the atmosphere a lot more scarier than it would in color.
Yeah, because you have to imagine
imagination more.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yep.
And also would have had the fact that they used chocolate syrup for blood. They used that. They did that in both Psycho and Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
Psycho, I think,
because it had the right consistency.
Psycho, I think, was also one of the first horror films at that time to have people die with their eyes open. When you think about it, because there weren't that many movies, and regardless of genre, in fact, not just horror films, that didn't have very many films. Because if you look at past films prior to 1960, you see, a lot of them either die peacefully, or you don't see them, or eyes closed, maybe a little drop of blood or something like this. But Psycho kind of changed all that, following along with another film that came out 3 years later in 1963, and that was Herschel Gordon Lewis's Blood Feast, which that delivered an even gruesome kill, which was one of the first splatter films ever made.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks for showing up, man.
I
appreciate you, brother.
Yes. And I just love the cinematography of this, especially with that shower scene. Like, with each like when it starts off with this, like the shower when the shower curtain slides, it raises the knife, and then different angles of like when the knife is coming at her, and then like it's like she's getting closer and closer to her death with each zoom, and then that scene that where finally her body went after the body dropped and it showed like the blood going down the drain. It's symbolizing Marion's life going down the drain.
Yeah,
her eye. With her eye.
Yeah.
And her eye.
That's why I said that's one of the first ever with eyes open in a death scene. And another thing too, Don, I don't know if you knew this. Contrary to popular belief, she was not actually nude when they shot that scene. It was like she was wearing some kind of suit of some sort.
She was.
Well, I feel cheated. What the hell?
Well, she was because in order to hide. Well, she was in order to like hide like extreme nudity because FCC would have gone crazy at this movie if they actually showed that.
If they just
the Hays Code
right
too.
way. I mean, she could have still been naked.
Well,
I mean,
remember what year
you just ruined that whole scene for me now.
Remember when this movie was made? This is during a time when there were some serious limitations.
It was known as the Hays. It was known as the Hays Code, which existed from 1922 until 1968. Which that was pretty much right around. That's when you kind of had the ratings coming around. Well, not exactly in '68, but a few years later, the ratings took over the Hays Code. But before that, you had a lot of restrictions of what you could show on film and what you couldn't.
Well,
So I got to say
right
then,
around that time, though, there was also the hippie generation started in '68. Right around that time.
Yep.
I
And
bet
went
in the
into
remake
70s.
when it was
You know,
who was it?
peace,
Vince
love,
Vaughn
and
in the remake,
Right.
in the '90s.
Yeah,
I
the
bet,
1998
and it
remake.
was Anne Heche too. I
Yeah.
bet she was naked during that.
She was. That was a different time, 1998. And
Yeah.
Hesh, oh man, Viggo Mortensen, and also one of my biggest issues with that movie, with the remake, Vince Vaughn as Norman Bates. I mean, do I even need to say anything?
He's a funny guy. He's not. Yeah, no.
No.
I didn't like that. I didn't like it at all. I
No.
mean,
I mean,
it wasn't bad per se, but
I mean,
there's a lot of other people they could have got for that role.
well, I will give it this. I did like Danny Elfman when he got like his doing his version of the music. I mean, I thought that was that's really like one of the very few positive things I have to say about the remake. Oh, and something I've been working on for a while. I'm ready to present here. Like a few people out there have been wondering why I have been uploading that many reaction videos lately, or while during my spare time, because a lot of my spare time went into something that I prepared for just this episode. Here, little something. That,
what is it?
Here, once I mute everybody, I'll show you. Here, I want everybody to hear it clearly. That way, nobody's mic is cutting into it. Okay, so this video actually covers everything. It goes over. It shows everything that we've covered. Every movie, every show, the games, all of it. This one video shows everything, and it's my salute to horror. So let me start it up. Hold on. Let me screen share it. Present. Share screen. Okay.
It's showtime. You hear them screeching out, but how you hear the wind begin to howl. You know that something's on the ground. And it's terror's on the ground. They've got you crawling through the night. Yes, it's terror's on the ground. And you just might die of fright. It's terrifying time. You know the scream is gonna start. Here comes the really scary part. 'Cause it's terror again. They've got to hold it through the night. Yes, it's terror again. And you just might die of fright. It's terrifying time. All the streets against the wall. Monsters busting apart. This is horrifying. Yes, it's terror again. They've got to roll in through the night. Yes, it's terror again. You just might die of fright. It's terrifying time. It's terror again. They've got you rolling through the night. Yes, it's terror again. And you just might die of fright. It's terrifying time. You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Oh, that was awesome, Dom. That must
That
have
was
taken
great.
you ages.
It did.
Oh man, that was so good. Well
And
done.
of course, I saw my favorite movie franchise in there. Of course,
Oh yeah,
The Evil Dead was there.
yeah. I decided to add that last part, that last Jaws bit in the end, because I decided, you know what, that would look good. That would probably make that like having that right immediately after the Meg scene. I thought that would be hysterical.
And then right after it, you could have added.
There is one thing I wish you could add. Where the hell was Nicolas Cage?
Oh, well,
we haven't covered any movie with Nicolas
Nope.
Cage yet.
Yeah, I know.
Ghost Rider. That was the
Oh,
Well
my
done.
worst.
Thanks, Sarah.
here I am.
Here I am, rock you like a hurricane.
I'm the
Too
new
bad.
Ghost Rider.
Yep.
Too bad we couldn't get hold of him to be a guest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, Chanel, it was the first Leprechaun movie that she was in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
It was. She wasn't in Leprechaun too.
real quick,
Irene.
Irene is in the chat. She's laying low with a cold. Hope you feel better, Irene.
Yep. Hope you feel better. So hopefully we don't get copywritten for this.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, they're just like short little clips.
Oh,
Yeah.
But the song though.
I
don't know.
mean,
Yeah.
if you really wanted to, you could have made like an AI song using Suno or something. How long was the clip total?
How long was that whole thing? It was well over
Yeah.
2 minutes.
I think Suno could have handled
Mhm.
Is Ghost Rider here?
that.
Hey, Thomas, I think you. I
Who,
think you-
me?
if you just tuned in, I think you just missed something very special I did for this. But I will upload that video onto my channel. Yeah, right after
We
this
could play it
podcast
at the end.
I could.
I was gonna say you could play it at the end, a second. That's what we sometimes do with some of our videos. We'll play it one time, then we'll play it at the end. Don, if you can actually, when you to give more better quality, can you send me a copy of the video, because I might be able to show it from the full screen from my side.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and somebody said that the volume was low.
Yeah, I did.
The volume was kind of lowering a little bit.
Like it,
So-
it started off good, and then it like started getting lower and
Oh,
lower and
must-
lower, and that's why I was like, volume's low. I don't know
Must
what the
have-
hell.
must have
That's why I was thinking to myself.
Anybody else had that problem? Because maybe it was some kind of interference.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's why I'm hoping. I was gonna say, if you could send a copy of it, I could put it on the full screen at the end, and it'll have better sound quality then.
Maybe
Okay.
it was the microphone doing it, like lowering it.
Yeah, that
Something.
too.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Huh, that's
It was probably because it was playing on your side, Don. So that's probably why the volume because you had your mic on, the rest of ours were off. So that might have been a reason. So yeah, just send me a copy of it. I'll put it in the playlist.
Typically, I have everybody's mic shut off, so that way there's no like interference from anybody else's mic. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. StreamYard's weird.
I'm glad that we're switched into it as just something else.
So that's why we're making a transfer.
But it was still good.
Yeah, and it was good until it had problems.
There's always problems.
Yeah, see, Jeff just confirmed too. He said it was low when he was watching it. So yeah, just send me.
Okay, we'll show it a second time. Yeah, and not only that, but I will also have that video
Wait,
available.
where's
on
Jeff? Speaking
yeah,
of
not only that, but I'll also have the video available on my my YouTube channel. So I'll be sure to post it right after this at the end of the show.
Get over here,
Jeff
Jeff.
be in here?
Yep.
He should be
Jeff,
in
where
here
the hell
too.
are you?
Jeff, where you at, man?
You know, I mean, he's a horror movie guy.
Come on, Jables.
This
Get
is a
on.
classic.
Jack
Come
Black.
on, you could do it. Oh man, I wasn't ready.
Oh man.
We'll just ignore that.
Yeah.
Come on, you could do it. Come on, come
Pressure
in.
is real.
That's right. Get in here.
The peer pressure, yes. Give in to peer pressure.
Get
Like
to
a
the
good
fear
grandma.
fans. Come on.
Come on.
Oh,
Okay,
Ew.
that's so we know what you mean.
In the words of the Wiggles, wake up, Jeff.
Yep.
I didn't mean to
Let's
bring
talk
that
about-
up. I'm sorry.
Let's talk about Psycho and our mom issues.
Yeah.
That's
I mean-
something I want to actually bring up. I think Psycho, in my opinion, it's the ultimate mama's boy
Yep.
situation. When you really think about it.
It really is. It inspired the whole thing, Skinner and his mother thing in Simpsons.
I mean, you know, your mama issues are bad if you have them long after she's dead. To be
Yeah.
decomposed that much.
Right.
It's,
I
wow.
like that it taps into like split personality because I'm into stuff like that, like Identity and Split. It's just like all these personalities in a character.
Right.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing,
Yeah.
this movie really did like a really interesting take on split personality. You know, like Norman built up the split personality where it's him and his mother after to try to like avoid the guilt over his mother's death because he killed her and her lover like 10 years prior to the start of this movie. And
Wow,
yeah,
it sounded
so
like Sling Blade.
yeah, and he would dress in her, and like there were times where he would be like the one side would just take over completely, and would he would just dress up as what his mother would wear, talk in her voice, like try do everything to keep alive the illusion that his mother was not dead.
Norman.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it was so well directed, obviously, like he's a legend, but it's so tense from right at the beginning all the way till she gets to the hotel, and then you kind of try to figure out what's going on, and then it all just kind of unravels. It's the ultimate tense movie as well. It's incredible. But yeah, I wonder how they felt seeing it for the first time in cinemas, because I think that's really the first movie to touch on something that fragile, I guess, to do with mental health and personality, split personality and stuff. I wonder how the audience felt. They must have thought that was outrageous, like horror.
And think the psychology, the whole psychology
Yeah.
thing, and the mental
psychology. I get
the
it.
mental disorders and that psychology back then is a lot different than the way they treat and diagnose and put the labels on people. There's a big difference. And I really loved the way at the end where the doctor comes out and it was trying to explain this in layman's terms, so that everybody could understand it.
Yeah. I mean, he would have been shipped off to an asylum.
Yeah.
In that day and age.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, Ed Gein was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a state hospital.
He died in Madison in Mendota Mental Hospital.
It was somewhere like in the late. That was
85.
85. Okay, so mid 80s, 1985.
Long before most of you were born.
He died in his sleep in a rocking chair.
Half of you.
Yep.
Doing great, Thomas.
I lived right next door to Mendota Mental Institute for a while.
You lived inside it or next?
No, next, like
inside it would make more sense.
Well, across the railroad tracks. I was across the railroad tracks from it.
On the east building, not the west building. Yeah.
It's a pretty big place up there.
I love you, Joe. You know.
It still stands, but it's called Central Colony now.
There.
Watch out for those
sorry,
cells.
had to fix a decoration. You know what? Well, while I have you guys on here, did you want to see what I've done to my place?
Yeah.
Yes.
Go for it.
All right, yeah. Before
he's got bodies hanging all over the place.
Just before you do, I'm at a full screen. So we can see it better.
Let me unhook the microphone from this so that way I can bring it with me.
I just realized, Don, this is your first time kind of giving a tour because I always did it before the decorations.
No. I think he gave a tour before.
I may have once before.
I think he did.
Oh,
that's
right.
I think it was the Christmas one.
I think so.
Christmas.
Yeah.
See what you got, Don.
Hold on, this microphone is like.
And now, this is Halloween. This is Halloween.
Oh, you know what? Here, I'll detach it off of here. Hang on.
Wow.
Was really hoping to do it a simpler way, but this. Hang on.
Do you have bones for furniture?
He's going to be like Freddie Mercury with like a pole hanging off the end of the microphone.
Okay, so here's my movie collection and my bachelor's degree. Here.
Oh, look at that.
Here, Chicago. Picture of Chicago. All right. So two bookshelves. One actually does have my books, and all kinds of Halloween decor here. And the backlight of the TV is now purple.
That's my favorite color, by the way.
Oh, here, let me turn some. Oh, here. Always follow Sam's rules.
Sam.
Yep, always follow his rules, and you stay alive.
Trick or treat.
Yes. Oh, let me turn on something.
My feet.
Turns off Adam at home. This thing I've got turns off automatically after a few hours. Hang on. Ah, this. Okay.
He's turning something on. How about
Yeah,
that?
this tree.
Oh,
Yeah, it shuts off
Oh,
automatically.
nice.
It shuts
I
off
remember the
automatically after
tree.
a few hours.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
I like
new.
the ghost.
The skeleton. Yep.
he's
Oh,
like,
it's
here's the clock.
Yeah, he's my.
Uh,
Yeah, that's the
Father
timekeeper.
Time.
That's my timekeeper. Yep.
Little webs.
Yep. Let's
Little
see.
witch.
Oh, this is new.
Oh, yes!
Oh,
I knew you would love it, Nick.
Of course I would. Oh, and by the way, Todd. Hey, what's up, Jeff? Here, I'll put you
Oh.
down.
tables in the house.
Yeah. Here, okay,
and
yeah.
we're not playing golf it, and he's here. How about
Oh
that?
my God, you got the garland too, Todd.
Oh yes, I like that mirror.
Don's gone all out.
Yep. And also this.
Wow.
Hang on. Oh, here, let me turn it off for a second.
Those handprints on the mirror from his last guest that he had there.
That's what
they
happened.
never left.
That's yep. In fact, no one was here. Who are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know.
You didn't see anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow, that's
Yep.
cool.
Yep. Yeah, there's lights. Yeah, this picture has lights right behind the jack-o'-lanterns. So,
That's awesome.
now you've seen my place.
That's
Yay.
awesome, Todd.
Oh yeah.
Very Halloweeny.
Yep. I just got to find better hooks for these lights. They keep coming down every once in a while.
Yeah.
How you doing,
Yeah.
Jeff?
But yeah, the major thing that I've changed.
Doing all right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. One day I asked, how's it going, Jeff?
Hey, don't worry about it, man. You're showing off your Halloween stuff. That's all good with me.
Oh,
It's going pretty well.
yeah. But, hey, glad you're here, Jeff.
Halloween's your birthday.
Thanks
You
for
turned
reaching out and having
51.
Yes,
No problem.
yeah, Halloween is Chanel's birthday. Turned 51.
Wow.
Check that
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, we're
He's still
gonna
younger than me.
definitely giving you a birthday shout out. Yes.
Yeah.
And the one thing that changed since since you were here, and since you were here, Kate, is I got a second bookshelf. So now I got a place to put all my Stephen King
I
stuff.
thought you had a second bookshelf. Yeah, because you just had a little one before.
It was a little one. I wanted one that was going to match, so that I got this
Also,
You know,
Tom,
with a
stop
TV
it.
with a TV in between.
Stop it. Yeah, that's nice.
I'm sorry.
It looks really good.
Thank you.
And to answer Sarah's question, here's what I knew someone was going to ask. Did Nick decorate his serial killer basement yet? No, I was actually going to say, before anyone says it, no, I have not decorated my basement or the house yet. We're being a little bit more patient. October 1st is when we start decorating, even though the official Halloween season, in my opinion, starts tomorrow. But just a few days, Sarah, and I'll have it decorated. Not Ed Gein style, though.
Yeah. Yeah. He did. He already did that last year. So
Yeah.
Oh, I'm crying.
I took some stuff out of the graveyard. Oh, jeez. I just said
whoa,
too
wait,
much.
what? Should we be
You
worried?
didn't hear that from me.
I was about to say, should we be worried?
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Yes.
Hey, no, actually, I'm just gonna say one thing. Don't you judge me. Oh, look at that. Oh,
Oh,
Yep. Oh, that's awesome.
that's awesome.
Nick,
so cool.
the voices from your basement compel you.
I love it.
That fits well.
Love it.
It's still in the
Cool job.
package.
Yep.
It's actually got a pretty long thing, and with a hood, so that it can hang.
I think it is, Sarah. I think it is. Yep. Sorry, Nick, you're going away for a while.
Yep.
Yeah. Actually, I don't think the asylums are even open anymore. I think they shut all insane asylums down, like all the state hospitals.
Yeah, state hospitals are pretty much done. I mean, well, there's some that are making a
There's
comeback.
some that are. There's some in, like I said, the one where Ed Gein
Shut up,
passed
Ed.
away in is still open for business.
Is it?
You're not
Yes.
helping.
The entire property is now called Central Colony, but the Mendota Mental Hospital is still there too. Still called that.
Oh, man.
So some
I'm
of
trying
them
to compose
are
myself.
still
man.
open.
Where I lived,
They're not like called insane asylums anymore. They're called mental institutions, or
mhm.
Yep.
you know, they've softened the words. You know,
Yeah.
over the
State
years.
Hospital
It's kind
has-
of like that thing George Carlin said. You know, they softened the language over the years, and if they would have called it shell shock back in the days, the veterans might still be getting, you know,
Help.
help they need.
Yeah, well, I mean, state hospitals have like the term state hospital has become synonymous with like mistreating patients and stuff like that. Like, I mean, even the one that was around here that I've done videos on, that is now the second park that we take care of. That had a dark history of like the doctors performing weird experiments on the patients and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a couple of those that were around here too that were,
and they left all the patients
closed
just
down.
running around naked and stuff. And
Which place is this again?
Well, it was called Philadelphia State Hospital, but
Nick,
the
it's not
unofficial
working
name.
anymore. There'll be no more naked people running around for you to hang out with.
Oh my god.
Well, especially not in the original Psycho, as we found out, because she wasn't really naked, but Anne Hinch was.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
and well, yeah, that's true.
Sounds
Yeah,
like a
rest in
good-
peace, Anne Hesh. Yeah. Let's
Well, you
see.
know,
who-
they were just going to have Vince Vaughn play that part as well, and he was going to have to be naked in the shower, Tom. So you dodged a bullet there.
well, you know, I mean, if we'd have seen his boobs, that wouldn't have been as bad.
Oh my god. Let's see who else was in the Psycho remake. There was Julianne Moore. Let's see, William H Macy. Let's see,
Yeah,
Viggo
he played the
Mortensen.
guy that-
Yeah, Viggo Mortensen, who I remember from the Lord of the Rings movies. Rita Wilson was in that one scene, the office scene where she played Patricia Hitchcock's role.
Huh.
Yeah, and I believe Robert Forster played the psychiatrist in the end.
Wow.
Has anybody seen the Bates Hotel series? Because I haven't.
Yes.
Yeah, I've watched it too. Yep.
Is it worth it?
It is totally worth
Okay.
it. Yeah,
Did
Freddie
they do
Highmore is incredible as Norman Bates.
Okay.
I never watched remakes. Did they do the remake in black and white?
No.
No.
No, yeah, that was in color.
No, it was in color.
Yeah.
They screwed it all up then.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So it
the
goes
only-
from the good doctor doing a bad killer.
Yeah.
Well,
first-
that's
first he
it's
was
like
the-
it's the opposite way.
Yeah.
Because he did Bates Motel first. Now he's doing. I think he's still doing the show The Good Doctor.
Yeah. First he killed people, now he's saving people.
Yeah, he is.
And before that, he was seeing elves and gnomes and things like that.
And before that, he was Charlie Bucket and exploring the crazy chocolate factory.
That's right.
Yeah, Tim Burton's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I gotta go and take it.
Yep. The Good Doctor. Yes, that's a good show. I really love its depiction about autism, and because that really appeals to both me and to Nick, because we're both high functioning on the spectrum. But like I feel like maybe to some degree, slightly like maybe a little bit exaggerates the whole. Well, how should I put this?
Emotions
and difficulty is because I watched it too, and
a few difficulties. Yes.
If I could just throw this out, I mean, not to go on this subject matter, but it's obviously an important thing. Is that I actually compare that show a lot of times to my current issues because as a lot of you guys pretty much know, I mean, even before I started doing all these podcasts, trying to be part of something like this was definitely a little bit of a struggle, obviously, and you can kind of see it, and I can see a comparison with The Good Doctor, which in his case, he's trying to be a successful doctor, but in our case, it's us trying to be successful podcast. So I can see quite a similarity between kind of like a similarity between fiction and reality.
Well, technically, a podcast can save lives, much like a doctor can. I mean, there are people that will binge watch stuff like that, and like, I mean, I don't mean to keep directing things to myself, but like, I mean, I've had once where somebody told me that like they were going through a rough, sick time, and that like they were watching my videos and everything, and it helped them through. And they're like, man, that's made me feel great. I mean, and that can be the same for every YouTuber / podcaster around. Like people who don't have a choice to not be able to go out of the house or anything like that can sit there and binge watch things and it will help them get through hard times. So, yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Definitely, Ed.
Yep.
Plus, they get to see me on this one, so I mean, it's a win-win. You know, I mean,
Yeah, right.
Should we?
I had to throw something self-indulgent in there. I mean, come on.
Should we ask Jeff about his favorite scene?
Yes. Let's ask all everybody should share
About
their
what?
favorite scene.
Yeah.
Scene.
Okay, we'll start with Jeff because just putting him on the spot there.
Yeah, that's tough because I just love the overall movie as a whole so much.
You're not allowed to choose the shower scene because we all know that's the greatest scene. Like anything other than the shower scene.
One of the most iconic scenes of all time.
You know what? I'm going to say the one that stands out for me, because the first time I watched it, I wasn't expecting it, is the reveal of his mother in the basement.
Yes.
Yeah.
That, I was like, oh, okay, that was not what I expected at all.
Yeah, I consider that to be one of the greatest plot twists in movie history. It's like it had such a good build up. You know, like it's like you see like it had a really amazing twist to something better than M. Night Shyamalan could have come up with the exception of Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Shyamalan.
That reveal followed up with, you know, Norman in the dress and wig showing up right there, just crazed, and it's like,
Yes.
But speaking in an old woman's voice.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they did with clowns instead of the baby?
Oh my god! And also, the only thing I did find disturbing about Norman's, you know, his normal in essence, the better term, his normal personality, like, because everybody keeps talking about, oh, his mother's personality is terrifying, but as far as him is like when he was going all peeping Tom and like was looking through a hole.
I
into the
hate that
bathroom.
term, by the way.
Of course,
I can see why.
Yeah, like looking into like the bathroom while you know, like while Marion was getting ready to take a shower. It's like, you know, it's like that actually. The scary thing is that actually does happen more often than you would think. You know,
They call that a voyeur.
A voyeurism.
Hey,
right.
real quick, guys. Carl Hutchinson. Hey, I saw him a couple weeks ago.
Hey, Carl.
What's up, Carl?
Yeah, voyeuring Tom.
Michigan Paracon. Good to see you here.
Me too. Yeah,
that's right.
So
Voyeuring
yeah,
Tom.
we were just talking about
politically correct.
we were just talking about the way, you know, like the movie depicts like that scene, you know, with voyeurism in hotels, and that actually does happen in real life more often than you would like to think, because I've seen like news stories about like hotel owners getting caught like with all this stuff. Like there was a disturbing story about a couple who owned a hotel and were like having a platform built above the hotel rooms, and they just looked out in the vents of people like in their bed.
Thomas just
That
made
is
me
so
feel
creepy.
really old.
Isn't that
my
amazing?
grandparents were born in 1960. I was born in 1975.
Oh man.
Your grandparents, not your parents, your grandparents were born in 1960. 15 years later. Wow.
Well, how do you think I feel? I was born in 67.
Well, I mean,
Yes.
the dinosaurs were around then. I mean,
But Sarah, yes, Sarah, I totally agree. That is creepy, and it's also creepy that another news report that I heard about someone actually putting a like somebody like hiding a camera, like a video camera, inside of a bathroom, and I'm just like, oh, like what, freaking pervert pulling this off. Like
there are hotels that do that kind of stuff.
It's like, what do they it's like if a hotel actually set that up, it's like, what do they think I'm gonna do? Am I gonna steal a shower head or something? And
or maybe, you know what? I'm not even gonna go there.
Well,
Yeah,
the joint at, you know,
we ain't talking about heads in the shower. And
when they did that, think about this. They put video cameras in the rooms, hide them, right?
Right.
But they also got them running because of a lot of times when this was happening, these things were recorded, you know, so they were running into another room somewhere.
Yeah, man.
So that they could record whatever went on, and
like
you know,
sex.
think about
Oh,
it.
jeez.
You'd find it out in an adult bookstore. You know, your tape.
God. Yeah,
You
it's
know,
like
the back store, the video store,
Right.
the back room.
Yeah, it's like
because this stuff went on before computers. Now think of what the technology is and how you can get them little bitty cameras, spy cameras, and they're totally wireless. Man, you never
Yeah.
know where it could
Yeah.
be
Well, there
happening
was-
now.
I've heard
Yeah, I
stories
mean-
of people finding them in their Airbnbs, like in an alarm clock or an
Yeah,
app,
I mean,
a charger. It's like,
Like a
Vacancy.
yeah,
Vacancy.
Yeah.
I just hate when
Vacancy.
they, I especially hate it when these perverts like put a camera like inside a hotel bathroom. Like it's like what they're just expecting like some Playboy model to check in there. It's like that's a pretty nice to pull it when it's like half the time it's not even gonna be a woman checking into there. It's probably most of the time it's probably gonna be some big hairy guy, and you're gonna put a camera in there.
And when I said vacancy, that was to
there was
answer
even-
Billy's question.
well, I think I found my calling, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my god!
Well, you know, I'm just gonna say this real quick. Is that I mean, even yes, it was supposed to be like comedic, but at the same time, I don't want to cause controversy. But there was even an episode of X-Files when Mulder checked into a hotel, and he finds the holes in the wall. And if I mean seriously, even if this was done in real life, this is definitely no excuse for that kind of stuff. The guy, and again, not trying to joke or anything, the guy claims that
I'm trying not to.
Oh my god!
he installed these peepholes supposedly after 9/11. It's like,
Oh, Jesus.
you know what? I mean, even if that was the case in real life, that's no excuse for
Oh
such
my
things
God.
like that.
The holes in the
I'm-
wall, they usually call them glory.
Oh Jesus
Yeah.
Christ!
Listen, I didn't make these things up. I'm just.
I know you didn't.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm shocked by what Chanel brought to me. Yeah, like it's
Put a
like,
camera behind certain rooms.
oh my god, like it's like I don't get why people do this. Like this whole voyeurism, record people. It's like if you want to like see people, I don't know, doing things, go on adult websites or something. I don't know.
There's
I don't hire
plenty.
people.
There's plenty there. The internet is full.
The
of stuff you
internet was
find.
made for that.
Yep.
But it's the taboo. They like that, they could get caught, I guess.
Oh,
like
Jesus.
taboo.
Yeah, like two girls, one cup. You know.
Yeah, sick. I tell you, sick people out there. Really,
I feel a little bit of vindication knowing that some of these guys, they're never gonna get the video they want, and all they're gonna get is some drunk dude who's had way too much Taco Bell.
Oh my God.
But we've all had that one friend that just had to show us that video of two girls, one cup. I will never eat soft serve chocolate ice cream again.
I've never watched that video. I've never
Wait,
seen
Tom,
it.
You're better for not having.
No,
seen it.
no.
Yeah.
I haven't seen either, so that makes two of us.
I only watched like
you know what?
5 minutes of it, and I'm scarred for life.
Pivot.
I only have anybody who wants to show me that video. I only have 2-word response. Hell no.
Tom,
Hell no.
I just
That's
realized
appropriate.
something.
I'll be right back.
This is the perfect moment for me to say, if you were to try to get if you saw a video like that, or like from like what we were just talking about, it's the ultimate moment to say, what?
Okay. Anyway.
That is, maybe guys, Velma getting help. Oh my God. Nick,
Wait,
Oh God, no.
No.
why are they doing this to us?
what the hell is? Why would they continue to make this monstrosity? No.
Rape my childhood
Stop.
like that? Oh my God.
Just stop.
yeah, exactly.
What do you guys
I mean,
find so
how-
wrong
how
about it?
can you
I'm
even
part of the
have-
creative team behind that. So what is?
This is
How can you even have that series when there's no dog?
Well,
I'm-
they
Get
figure
out.
because Hollywood and the whole works has got no imagination anymore.
no.
No, they
It's
just
just-
cancel
So they
everything.
got to
and they
rip
change
off.
it.
They got to rip off stuff from series that were successful.
Like, I mean,
we're going to take Velma out of Scooby Doo and make her own series now.
right, and then we're gonna change everybody, like including
Right.
Shaggy. I mean, Shaggy has always been like Zoink Scoob.
Seriously, at this point, dumping a whole thing of salt in my eyes is far less painful than sitting through Velma.
yeah, no,
And Scooby
checked
and
it out.
Shaggy, they were known as like a couple of stoners.
Oh.
'Cause
like
it was
Zoink Scoob,
mad.
pass that doobie.
The way those two guys put away food, they had to be smoking something.
Yeah,
Well,
it had to
if
be.
they can
That's the
unhinge
joke.
their jaw and eat a sandwich
Yeah.
that's like this tall, it's
I've seen that on Human Centipede.
I'll be back. I'm gonna make a sandwich.
Okay.
But
I want
Hey,
to. I
yeah.
like. Listen, I
gotta be
want
tall.
turkey and cheese and mayonnaise with lettuce and onions and pickles.
Yes, I
Yeah,
agree.
pickles.
Hey, Billy,
So
I
many
agree.
pickles.
I totally agree with you, Billy. They should have canceled Velma. You know, tax write off. Yeah, seriously, just
Hmm.
it's like
Some
seriously,
things should have just never been made.
should
I'm
never
gonna.
ever.
You know,
Funded by Specsavers.
Ugh. It's like I feel like I wouldn't even send recommend Velma to even my worst enemies. Like I feel like even they don't deserve to sit through it.
I've never watched it.
Yeah, I've never checked it out. So
Worse than
Yes.
soft ice.
I mean, to be honest with you guys, I'll be honest with you. I only saw one episode of Velma, the first episode, and that's all I needed to see.
Never
I saw
watched any of them.
previews, and that's all I needed to see. You know, like them showing the previews, and it's like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, and a while back, a year ago, I did this reaction video to Honest Trailers, Screen Junkies, when they did an episode covering Velma, and then I went on this rant talking about everything I hate about it. Oh, hey, Braxton, how's it going? I'd rather watch Batman and Robin than Velma. Yeah, seriously, even Batman and Robin is more entertaining than Velma. Yeah, that's where we're
Well,
at.
think about it. It's like you go back to the 60s or the 70s when Scooby was made.
Right.
Okay, all the merchandising out there was Scooby Doo, the dog.
Right.
You didn't have Velma or Shaggy or any of those others on it. It was always Scooby, the dog.
Right.
Stuffed animals, Scooby. T-shirts, Scooby, pajamas, Scooby. You know, why would you
And
think
Mystery
that
Machine.
Velma was going to be a success?
Oh, Braxton, I know you just joined, but just to add context, we're talking about the that god awful Velma series on HBO Max. Yeah, seriously, I would rather step outside and stare at the sun for an hour than watch another episode of Velma. Yeah, but no, he's not defending the show Velma. God, no, none of us are.
Oh no.
Let's see.
Just one thing, Don. I don't think we can show one of Chanel's
we can't show
comments,
that one.
but we just want to say that we're really sorry that you were abused in hospital, and that's really, really awful.
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I hope this hasn't triggered you or anything. Like, reach out if you
Yes.
need any.
Hey, Chanel, we're here for you.
Yeah, if you need to talk, I'm always here too.
I know Tom left, but myself, Robert and Tom, we know Chanel very well. I've actually met Chanel a couple years ago at a Paracon, so she's a very good friend of ours.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, awesome. Okay, sorry, Don.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, let's talk about the end of Psycho. So they,
That was my favorite part.
So Sam Loomis and also I forgot to mention John Carpenter was heavily influenced by Psycho when he made Halloween because two main things that inspired him. He adopted the name Sam Loomis for Donald Pleasance's character, Dr. Sam Loomis.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he saw this movie and saw how Alfred Hitchcock was using Psycho, a horror film, to boost Janet Leigh's career, and so John Carpenter wanted to do the exact same thing for her daughter in Halloween, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Huh.
Yep.
She became like a, what do you call that? A scream queen.
A scream queen.
Yeah,
Queen, exactly. Yes. And also, speaking of Janet Leigh and Jamie Lee Curtis, in Halloween H2O, if you how Janet Leigh makes an appearance in that, if you look closely at her car that she's in the background, it's the car from Psycho, even the license plate.
Wow.
Oh.
Well, there is
That's one of the things that I really get. It gets me that the car sank so quickly. How deep would that lake have been? Because
it was a
swamp. I'm thinking, well, how deep would the swamp be? Because what I was thinking, he must have emptied it out, put all the dirt up on the hill, made the house up there, then left the swamp to be empty for enough cars to go into, like one after each other. Because how many other people did he kill before that?
Yeah, but it could have been there before, though.
Yeah.
George Shop. I haven't seen him in a
Might
long
not necessarily been man-made.
Right. So, and I will say this: I do love that sequence where he pushes the car in and it sinks and it cuts back and forth between his expression, like him watching it as it slowly sinks, cuts back and forth between him and the car over and over again until finally the car completely sinks, and he has a satisfied look on his face, and then it just shows the surface of the pond, or of the swamp, and you don't see the car anymore, and then the scene fades out from there. I thought that was good. That was good cinematography.
They should have had the money floating up.
That was good editing.
Hey, what's up,
Jen?
Jen?
She did rob a bank.
How's it going, Jen?
Hi, Jan.
You know, if I could say one thing too, because we were just talking about Don, how Psycho also, inspired Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
When I mentioned this other movie earlier, it even partially inspired, like I said, Blood Feast, because in fact, if you look very carefully, the very first kill in Blood Feast, which again is completely the opposite of Psycho,
Right.
where first off, unlike Psycho, Blood Feast was filmed in color. And the very first death scene involves, it's not a shower, but a bathtub in this case. And the other difference, too, compared to Psycho is when you see that famous shower scene, yes, you see blood, but you never actually see damage done to the human body. Blood Feast in this case shows all the damage, like an eye, stabbed through, a leg is cut. It's a true literal bloodbath. And what Herschel Gordon Lewis had said, I mean, sadly now he's gone. He passed away back in 2016. But he said that he had seen Psycho prior to making Blood Feast. And in his opinion, he thought, well, Psycho was good, but he thinks they kind of cheated a little too much because, again, we never saw the damage. Herschel Gordon Lewis, in response to those scenes from Psycho, he decided to bring that on camera for the first time in 1963.
That was the time, though. I mean, that was the way horror movies were done. Like, you got more scared from what you didn't see than what you had to imagine.
Right, because you had to use your imagination.
Yeah, and that scared the shit out of you to think about.
Yep.
And again, to that shower scene, doing it the way they did it. I mean, think about it. You're at your most vulnerable.
Thank you, Jen.
You're there alone in that bathroom, taking a shower, and you're naked and all of this. And
not if you're in the original Psycho.
Yeah,
apparently.
but bro, think about it. And then somebody all of a sudden marks in. I mean, you're gonna freak out.
Well, I'm not gonna freak out because I'm naked. I'm gonna freak out because I don't have my knife.
If you use your imagination, that's like one of the scariest fears.
Because I don't have pockets in my skin. I'm just saying.
Well, there is. I'm actually looking for something that I'd like to play to you guys, and this borrows elements from Psycho. It's not a movie clip. It's actually an audio story, but it kind of describes that kind of situation. So it's gonna take a couple minutes, but I have something that I got to play that is definitely based on Psycho. Don, I'm just sending you the email now.
Okay.
I didn't mean for that to play that time. I was just setting it back up.
Sure.
Well, yeah. Hey, I mean, it was good timing, but I didn't intend for it. I'm not going to take credit for it if I didn't intend it. Yeah. Just saying.
Yeah, of course you are. You're just always saying.
Oh my god. Okay, hang on.
That was some chicken.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. I was going to say another word, but I realized where I was and I didn't say it. So.
Coming to the stage, Tom and his chicken.
That's right.
Wait, what the hell?
Voice changer.
Yep.
I call her Josie.
I have not seen it, to Billy's comment.
Every once in a while I throw away, so
I haven't seen
then Josie's on a
Blood Feast
vacation far away.
No.
It's on the ever-growing list.
No,
of things
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen Blood Feast, Don?
Not yet.
Don,
I've
been
focused on all sorts of movies.
You and I are
sit next to me on this couch. I'm going to put my arm around you, and you're going to be okay with it.
Oh my god!
You tell me.
No, actually, no, Nick. Nick. You come over to my place. I'm putting on Netflix, and you're watching the rest of Stranger Things.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Listen,
wait.
Nick,
Hang on
Nick,
one second. Hold on one
wait a
second
minute.
there.
He just invited you over to Netflix and chill. I'm just saying.
What the?
Where's my invite?
Jesus Christ!
No, here's what I'm going to say.
Just the
You gotta
popcorn.
watch. You got to watch Blood Feast
Take your
first
own
because
popcorn
this
bucket.
is where
Yes.
that is where all
Yes.
the gore all
we were-
began.
Here, yeah, Braxton. We were just talking about that earlier. The Birds. I first saw it when I was 7 years old on January 1st, 2000.
It didn't impress me when I was a kid. As an adult, it's better, but like, I mean, as a kid, I was like,
Oh, I loved it as a kid.
care.
You kidding?
Mhm.
Freaking birds, man.
Yeah, but
Just
not-
kick them in the fucking throat. Oh, sorry. Kick them in the
Not-
throat.
You say
Hey, we're
like
hey,
all
Tom.
this-
We're all adults here.
Yeah, well, I try not to. I'm trying my best to behave verbally when I'm on here.
Chanel has never seen Stranger Things. The end.
What?
wow.
Never,
Chanel, you
should.
would enjoy it. I bet.
It's
I'm
good.
willing to bet
It's so
Chanel
good.
played Dungeons and Dragons when she was a kid, and just in that fact alone, the first episode should hook you.
You'll love it.
Don, all I'm just gonna say, come on now. I mean, you say you've watched all these splatter films and you haven't seen like where it pretty much began. What the hell?
I mean, let me rephrase that. I've watched some scenes. I just haven't watched the whole movie. I wasn't able to find it.
I might have it
Yeah.
somewhere, so I could probably show it to you.
I was trying to remember the other Alfred Hitchcock film I watched. So Psycho the Birds. And has anyone seen Vertigo? That was the one that I watched.
Yeah, that was okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Mel Brooks
Yeah.
did his own
Yeah.
rendition of that.
I like
What the
Yeah.
hell did he call it?
Was
Uh,
that high
Rear
anxiety?
Window.
Is that what
Yes,
high anxiety?
high anxiety.
Okay.
Yes.
Rear Window
Yeah,
was
did-
good.
Yeah, Rear
Oh,
Window.
was it?
Yeah, that was really good. Have you guys seen
That,
any
that
of
was
it?
Jimmy
Oh,
yeah.
I
Stewart.
just watched Your Window
Jimmy
about a year or
Stewart.
so ago. I've seen it before, but that was a good murder
Yeah.
mystery film.
That's
Yeah,
so good.
They
Rear
did like,
Window was great.
Yeah, they actually did a modern version of Rear Window that had Shia LaBeouf. It was
Yeah,
Disturbia.
Disturbia.
it's.
Mhm.
Disturbia.
Wow.
I
Wasn't
still
there
think that
one
Jimmy
with,
Stewart was better. Man.
Superman, the original Superman.
Mhm. There was a remake of Rear Window
Well,
with Christopher Reeve.
Yeah,
Christopher
well,
Reeve.
Yeah,
Christopher Reeve,
Well-
that was it. Yeah.
yeah. That more
Well-
followed the same storyline, but
Yeah.
Well, when you think about it, Tom, Fright Night also adapted a bit of Rear Window to it in the beginning.
yeah, well,
Right.
a little bit, a tiny bit,
Yeah,
and
a
then
little bit, yeah.
it veered off on its own. You know?
I mean, I think The Simpsons
Ooh.
did the best.
I know
with Rear
exactly what
No.
you're talking about. I came across oh yeah,
Closet.
Jan. Yeah, Jan, I know exactly what you're talking about. I came across that one years ago when I was a teenager on Comcast On Demand. Yeah, they had that there, and I thought it was just okay.
I'm curious what's in his closet now.
I've never heard of
Yeah.
Cameron's Closet.
It's
Hey,
a lesser
no.
lesser known film from the I think from the 80s. It was about a kid with psychic abilities who was it's about a kid with psychic abilities who was battling a demon in his closet.
Oh, of course. You sure?
Mm.
Wait, I gotta ask real quick. You sure it's not the evil monkey from Family Guy?
Let me see. Cameron's Closet.
Point.
That's 1988. Here we go. 1988. I was right. It's got a 5 out of 10 stars on IMDb, 18% on Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see. Scott
I think
Curtis
Rotten Tomatoes is harder to please than IMDb. Yeah, I'm saying.
Yes,
Oh.
that's because they're that's
They're
because on
honest?
IMDb that's because on IMDb anybody can do a rating on there, but Rotten Tomatoes has all legit critics.
Right. So they're more honest about like, listen,
Yes.
don't waste your time with this movie.
As honest
But,
as one could.
I mean, cult classics are different. Like they
You know
might
what?
they might give a lower rating to Killer Clowns from Outer Space than
I think they
would.
get paid though, don't they?
I
They
have a
get
tendency
paid.
to not listen to critics because I grew up watching Siskel and Ebert, and they crapped
Siskel and
on
Ebert.
every movie that I
Oh my
enjoyed. So I
God.
was like, you know
You mean
what?
Bert
Yeah,
and Ernie? I mean, what?
I mean,
They,
I mean, with when it comes to like professional critics, I mean, like Roger Ebert and let's see, Richard Roper, Gene Siskel, well, just any critic. It's like I've agreed with them at times. I've also disagreed with them on some things. Like I've disagreed with Rotten Tomatoes when they gave Home Alone like a 68%. I
well,
felt like it
that's
deserved
just
more
the
than that.
frequency that it's played at. I think you got to take into consideration. You know, it's kind of like like Stairway to Heaven. It's a great friggin' song. Led Zeppelin is awesome, but it gets overplayed, and it's like, oh my god, is this on again?
A Christmas Story is also in that category for me.
Now the
being
new
overplayed.
Christmas Story isn't bad.
Yeah,
If
it's
you
okay
like the
compared
old
to that
one when you were a
terrible
kid, the new one's not bad because it continues with the same people playing the same characters outside
That's
of the
what I heard.
mom. Outside of the mom.
Of course.
But you had Ralphie, you had Flick, you had them all. I mean, they were there,
right?
And it was the same people.
Yeah, the actor that plays like us who let's see, Zach Ward, his name is. You know who he plays, right? In Christmas Story. Yeah, he follows me on Twitter.
Yellow teeth. I swear to God, he had yellow
Scott
teeth.
Farkus. Yep,
Yeah.
Scott Farkus.
You know what? I watched him in that, and then when he was older, I saw him in the sitcom they had on Fox for a little while called Titus. He was also in one of the Nightmare on Elm Streets. Also,
He was in Freddy vs. Jason.
Yep.
Was it
He
Freddy
was Freddy
versus
the
versus
older
Jason.
brother of.
He was.
like when the dude was remembering his younger brother or whatever, or his older brother, whatever it was.
That's right.
But
Yeah.
But like when I saw him on Titus, I was like, dude, that looks like Scott Farkus. I can't get past this. And I didn't think it was because somebody told me, no, that's absolutely not him. And then when I finally looked up online, I was like, I'll be damned, it is him.
100%. I did the same thing. It's like, why does he look so familiar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
man, so
he didn't age.
So I wanted
just
to
got
talk
built.
more about the. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about the ending of Psycho. How they discovered when they discovered the whole what was really going on. When they at first suspected that Norman had killed Marion and stole the $40,000. Because that's where the whole thing started. She embezzled $40,000 from the bank job. It was for like a client that wanted to buy a house for their daughter and on their wedding, I believe. And which $40,000. If only that could buy you a house today.
Well,
yeah,
you'd
like
be
in
hard pressed
Chicago.
to find that in the current
Oh
economy.
yeah, I mean, in Chicago, at the very least, to get a house, you need $300,000.
Right.
Yeah.
So you would need at least 10,000 down. Easy.
Yeah. You would have to buy a car. You would at least be able to buy a car with about 40,000. Which, unlike in this movie, she only had to pay like 700 and trade in her current car to get a new car. It's like.
And she got a Tesla. It was really weird. I didn't understand that because they weren't around yet.
No, they weren't.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure that
she had nowhere to charge it, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the cop who stopped her. Pretty sure that wouldn't happen today. Like, I'm pretty sure he would have been a lot more persistent if if he was that suspicious about somebody today. Yeah, like there are.
I mean, it's typical. Like because obviously with my road trips I do, we always drive down. There's always people on the side of the road, either closing their eyes for a bit, especially if we're driving late at night. Very much like that. I mean, it's not unusual to see that happen.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like he would have feel like he would be more persistent because of she was demonstrating like suspicious, evasive behavior and wanted to trade in the car. And it's like that's kind of suspicious, like. I don't know. I just feel like it wouldn't have gone as smoothly today as it did back then for her. I don't know. I'm just saying. I just feel like. Yeah.
Okay,
But,
they should do up an Among Us Psycho version, and have them be suspicious of that.
We created a
bunch of people,
oh my God,
bunch of people running around yelling at other people for being sus and
Yes,
right.
exactly.
And so at the end, when they discovered the twist that Norman Bates's mother wasn't the killer,
twist?
Norman Bates's Norma Bates, his mother's name is Norma. Yeah, Norma Bates was turns the when she turns the chair and then finds the skeletal remains of Mrs. Bates, and then Norman just comes out, dressed up as his mother. You realize this whole twist is that's what I love about it. It everything just falls into place. Like there was a steady build up to it, and where in a way where it all makes sense in the end. And this, as far as plot twists go, this is my second favorite, second only to the ending of Shawshank Redemption. That was a good twist as well.
Different
But it
music.
never shows him getting dressed and how long it took him to get dressed up into his mother's outfit.
Yeah.
So how
Yeah,
long
he
did
was-
it take? Because
It was a quick
if
changer.
it's like, obviously.
I also say that was definitely one of my favorite twists, along with the others. That was mind blowing back in the day when it first came out for the others. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
Makes sense.
I
Love
cover
that
that one.
film.
Yes.
Love that
And I
film
just
so
love
much.
that. And I just love that where Norman is sitting is confined in that cell, and it's just like Norman's his mother's personality is taken over completely and talking and like saying like, well, Norman's not like saying anything, but it's just like her thoughts, like what you're hearing in his head. You know, Mrs. Bates saying, I'm not even gonna swat that fly. I bet they are watching, and then they'll see a no, and they'll say why she wouldn't even harm a fly. I'm just wondering if that's where the phrase "wouldn't harm a fly" came from. I'm wondering if it, because I don't know, it would make sense if that were the case. But then I just love that expression he makes when he just looks up, and then
Yeah.
that final shot of him. I think,
Oh.
I just tried doing that face as best as I could.
That was psycho.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It's such a good shot to end on because
Right,
that's
yeah.
when you're like, oh,
And
he's
you see-
completely broken at that point. And
Yes,
Yeah.
and you see
There's so
the skeletal, and I don't know if you noticed this, but you could see if you look closely, like as the shot is about to fade out, like there's the skeletal face of Norman's
Yeah.
mother overlapping on his
Yep.
face,
You wouldn't
indicating,
harm a
Yep.
fly.
yeah, indicating that both that personality, which is good cinematography. It indicates that her personality has taken over Norman,
I
just
gotta
like
say
how
one thing about
Arnold
that,
Schwarzenegger has
because
taken over Tom.
That's
No,
live.
not only-
Come on.
oh my god,
I gotta say something else about that too. When you all this talk about it, let's not forget that because I think of the parody of this. Let's not forget that even South Park has done that with the shitty walk guy. That was-
walk. Yeah, it's like, oh my god, the way Troy Parker does that Asian voice, it's so racially insensitive yet funny as hell.
I could do an impression, but I won't.
Oh my
Yeah, I was gonna say I would say do it, but I don't want to cause any controversy on it.
That's why they're doing it.
Oh wait,
I've
I
seen,
gotta say
like-
what Braxton said. That other horror flick, Carnival of Souls, that's another classic horror film from
Yep.
the early '60s.
I actually just came across a video that showcased the top, in this guy's opinion, the top 10 horror movies that are based in like suburban areas. And the whole list intrigued me. Like the ones I haven't seen, I want to watch now. And I'll get back to you with some of the titles, but some of them I've seen. There was one in particular that stands out, Deadly Friend, where this dude, and it's all set in the 80s, this dude has like he has no life. He's a nerd. He builds his own robot. And then this new chick moves in the neighborhood right next door to him, and he starts falling in love with her, and they have a little back and forth going on and stuff. And then something happens and she dies. So he wants to save her. So he combines this robot that he made called PB. I
Right.
forget what the PB stands for, but that was his name. And he combines it with the
butter.
dead body of this chick.
Yeah, peanut butter.
And it like starts going evil basically. So I mean that's like one of the movies, but there's a whole list, and I will let you know which ones are cool because I'm going to watch them all.
Nice.
I guess he provides the jelly.
That one I've seen. It's not worth reviewing. Just saying.
You know,
It was okay for the time.
Oh my god, what happens to Jeff's face?
Yeah. He's
What do you
been
mean?
absorbed.
He's been
Kevin's-
absorbed.
He's invisible.
Talking about this is what
Well,
he
he's
looks like
wearing
every-
green makeup, and he has
What
a green screen
happened?
going on, and
I just looked down and I was like, what the hell?
he's Shrek.
He was the ghost the whole time.
He was the Terminator this whole time.
No, he can't be.
He's the invisible
Invisible
man.
Man.
No, that's me. I can't. I'm the Terminator.
How did you do that?
How did you do that?
What?
He's got a green
as
mask.
you've never seen this green
before?
mask.
Hang on.
Green mask.
When did he put that on?
Green
He had his
screen.
screen off.
When you went
I'm
hunting.
perpetually a child.
But when did you put that on?
Wow.
I held up
I
a
didn't-
finger and I put the lens down on my camera real quick, and then flipped it back up, and nobody was paying attention. So I thought,
Let's see, we were too busy
We'll just
talking.
That
take
was
it out.
crazy. I thought that was like genuine magic then.
That really was
Science
cool.
is magic.
He's still part of his cloak of invisibility.
Yep.
You're right.
Crazy.
They use similar techniques to make the Predator invisible in the first Predator movie.
That's right.
Yeah.
yeah, I found a really good
That's
deal on
right,
gloves and a
come
mask, and I
on.
was like, why not?
Don, if you got, another thing too, I wanted to bring up. I'm surprised no one has. When it comes to this movie, to Psycho, everyone also was under the impression that Psycho was the very first, basically slasher film ever made. That wasn't necessarily the case because, and I just recently found this out. See, before that, I thought the earliest horror film that would be considered a slasher film was a movie that came out in 1932 that was called 13 Women. And it was also, at that time, it was not only the earliest, at least from what I knew back then, was kind of called a slasher film, but it was also pretty much the first slasher film, if you will, to feature a woman being the killer in this movie. However,
a woman.
Yeah, well, however, I did recently find out that there was, again, that was the film I thought was the oldest, but now I recently discovered there is an even older horror film that is considered the true first slasher film, which was simply just called The Terror. That came out back in 1928, and I believe it was a silent film. Now I know some people are going to ask, saying, "Is there a way that we could watch this movie, The Terror?" Unfortunately, as of 2024, almost 100 years after it was made, no copies of the movie are known to exist. I think they said the last copy was burned in the 1965 MGM fire. They are still looking to see if there's a copy of it because they're hoping that maybe there is a loose copy out there that does exist. But until that's happened, no copy is known. It's a lost movie, or in other words, it's been essentially lost to time. The only existence of that movie is through posters, probably a few photographs, still images, and that's it. But until a copy is discovered, there's no way to watch it, unfortunately.
Sounds very much like a London After Midnight type of situation.
Yeah, very much. It came out, and that's what it came out a year after London After Midnight.
That's crazy. Have you guys ever seen the 1927 film Metropolis?
Yep.
I found that pretty scary as a child watching that because of no sound, black and white, robot, the future.
Isn't that where the cover of that one Queen album came from?
Yeah, I think so. The creepy one.
The big ass robot. And...
News of the World.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Oh my God, Don, we just saw that album. It traumatized me when I saw that.
Let me guess.
Traumatized Stewie too.
Yeah, Stewie.
Yeah, but just let's all remember though, that robot, he didn't kill Queen. They're all fine.
Well, Freddie Mercury is not alive. Right. The rest of the band still is.
Yeah, most of them are fine.
Yes, most of them okay today.
Shut up, old man.
Yep. I used to do that prank call. I used to use that for asking for a newspaper. Call a newspaper company and ask them for one.
Hey.
Yeah.
Just looking for the muscly arm paper boy. Wish you'd come by and bring me some good news.
and I also used it for when I was playing Xbox Live with my buddies in high school. They were like, "Hey Don, you could do Herbert's voice, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why?" And they're like, "Can you pretend like you're Herbert in the game hunting us down?" And I'm like, "They're like, please do it." And I'm just like,
"I know you're close by. I don't need the minimap to find you. I can smell you from a mile away."
You're so good at that.
It's creepy as hell. It's so damn funny.
Guys,
you come in my house. First one to swallow the most Tylenol PM wins.
Sarah's got a really good question, actually. So Sarah says, do you find black and white scarier than color? Yes, I do, actually.
Yeah.
In
Well,
some cases, yeah.
It
Stands out
depends on
more
the movie.
Yeah. It
Like
depends
with
on,
a
like,
zombie movie, I need more detail. I need HD. I need like decay and stuff like that. Not the
Yeah.
makeup stuff that they did, like say in Night of the Living Dead. I mean, that was a scary movie in itself, but the details of the zombies were
yes.
lacking.
I mean, that's one of the things I love most about the remake of Night of the Living Dead from back in 1990, because it's like, yes, they put it in color, but the amount of detail they put into the zombies in this was insane.
Much
They
different,
actually looked like walking corpses. They actually did their research on what a corpse should look like and decided to apply that to all the zombies in this.
Wow.
Guys, I just looked up that movie.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
I just looked up that movie just out of curiosity. The Terror. So I let me refrain a little of what I said. I thought it was a silent film because it came out in 28. It actually wasn't. It was the second all-talking motion picture film following Lights of New York, but it was the first all-talking horror film at that time. But like I said, there's no copy, and I actually do have a photo. I'm going to share. It's a lobby card, in fact, and it's kind of a paranormal film too, and it's because it does involve it's kind of a ghost story. But this is a lobby card. What you guys are about to see is basically the lobby card for what would essentially be the first ever slasher movie ever made, which also meets the paranormal in this case.
They look like they're doing like a seance.
Seance. Yeah, they are. So it's a combination. Yeah, and you can see there's like a hooded, like kind of like a killer, like leaning over them, and it's based on a 1927 play by Edgar Wallace.
It's weird. It looks like they all have their hands on a really huge land, or what's that called?
Planchette.
Planchette, yeah. They're like, like it's a really tiny Ouija board compared to how big the Lancet is.
Either that or they're sharing pizza.
Yeah.
Or everybody's like, look, I got my nails done today.
Yeah.
All right, Piggy.
Yeah.
I do want to touch on the black and white
fatigue
thing
is setting in quite
quick
a
too.
bit.
I think a movie like a movie like Nosferatu definitely works because it had to be black and white.
Yeah.
But then you look at modern movies such as The Lighthouse. I think it wouldn't work in color because there's an atmosphere there that you didn't need the color for. So it all depends on the movie and if you can build the atmosphere
and
where
the
you don't
scenery.
need the color. But certain movies do need, like Tom, I agree.
Oh,
you need that
I'm
detail
frozen.
in something
Yeah.
like
So some of them you do, some of them you don't. It's better without it.
Yeah.
like if The Witch would have been in black and white, I wouldn't have cared. It would have been just as good for me.
Yeah, I hear you. Like if I feel like if something is gonna be black and white, it has to be like for a purpose. And this one was like, and Psycho was to create a grim and isolated atmosphere.
Yeah.
So and Alfred Hitchcock and let's see who did the cinematography. John L. Russell. Yeah, he like both of them did an amazing job like with what they were going for with this.
Something I have to let out that I hinted on in my live feed, and now that Tony B is no longer here and hasn't been here for some time, I gotta say it because there's been a couple of references to it. Like Nick talked about the paranormal, of course. Go figure. Nick talked about the paranormal. No, it never happens. But then Nosferatu was brought up. One of the places I'm going to be doing my next 2 videos in is a museum that just opened up in the last year or so. It's a museum to vampires and paranormal.
Ooh.
And at the door, you are greeted by a bust of Nosferatu. And the first part of it is all vampire hunting kits that are like real. They're not like they're not made to look like wood. They're actually made of wood.
They were.
And metal.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And
I can't wait to do that video.
I can't wait to see that. I would love to see that. And I also would love to see this horror shop over in St. Charles, Illinois. This place called Ghoulish Mortals.
There's
Don,
got
I've
to
been
be
there.
videos of somebody going through it.
It's a really cool location. I got pictures from like about 6 years ago of us visiting there. It was actually right after when we were leaving from a cemetery crawl, and we got to check the place out. It doesn't disappoint.
Oh yeah, I definitely got to see it for myself.
So here's something else. I mean, here's one more thing about this movie, The Terror. I actually found out what happened to it. So long story short, so it turns out 2 versions of the film were prepared, as most theaters in 1928 obviously had yet to convert to sound. The all-talking sound version features a Vitaphone sound on disc soundtrack, was released on September 6th of 1928, and a silent version, which used screen-filling printed titles, as they were commonly called for most movies from that era, to supply the essential dialogue, was released on October 20th. And it says, both versions have been considered lost films since the 1970s, though a complete set of the soundtrack discs still exists and is preserved at the UCLA Film and Television Archive. And the plot of it, I mean, even though the movie's been gone, to just give it's real short. The plot of this movie, again, to kind of give that element of slasher, The Terror, a killer whose identity is unknown, occupies an English country house that has been converted into an inn. Guests, including the spiritualist Mrs. Elvery and Detective Ferdinand Fain, are frightened by strange noises and mysterious organ music. Connors and Marks, 2 men just released from Gaol, have sworn revenge upon the terror, following a night of mayhem that includes murder. The identity of the terror is revealed, but that's all it says. So we don't even know who the killer is at the end of this lost film because it hasn't been seen since the 70s.
Oh.
That's crazy.
That was insane.
Tales from the Dark Side. Check that out.
Wow.
Is Jan talking about Wallace and Gromit?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Oh yeah, Chanel said, I love the old clay animation movies. Yeah, Wallace and Gromit is legendary in the UK, especially.
And The Pyramid, that's the movie. I think it's called The Pyramid.
Oh,
that's what I was trying to figure out which movie.
I was thinking it was The Ruins.
I was thinking of The Ruins too.
There's 2 different movies.
Yeah, there's like several movies around that same time that have such a similar premise. It's like,
yeah, that's true.
Don, if I could also present, because remember I said earlier about like I have a little video to show that kind of has elements of Psycho that echoes from it. I got the clips ready. What I'm going to show, I'm going to show 2 clips. They're only a minute each, and it's in fact from an audiobook story. It's from the website Chilling Tales for Dark Nights. And I know what you guys are thinking, like when you first hear this story. I'm not going to play the whole story because it's like 16 minutes. That's why I clipped it into 2 separate clips. I'm going to play the beginning and the ending of it, and you guys will definitely get that vibe of Psycho. And the story itself is called Why I Didn't Shower for 21 Years. But it's not what you think, though. It's not like you have to hear the whole story to understand it. I'm going to play the
And Nick, I want to try to play the video my video again after this because I'm going to try to cut my mic this time.
That's fine. That's totally fine. So
Can I just shout out to Chanel's comment? Vincent Price was the grandpa I always wanted.
Right? Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was The Ruins or The Pyramid.
Him and Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee would be an awesome grandpa.
Yep. All right, Nick, what do you got for us?
All right, so I'm going to play the first clip. This is from the introduction, and then I'm going to play the ending of it. And this is narrated by a guy. And don't joke his last name. His name is David Cummings. Really great narrator.
I have nightmares where I'm trapped in a shower. The drain is plugged, and I can't get it unplugged. Water rises to my ankles, to my waist, and then over my head. The shower curtain turns to glass, and my screams turn to gargles. A dark figure presses its face against the glass on the other side, and it watches me. I plead, but it won't let me out. I swallow water and flail helplessly in my glass coffin. I wake up gagging. I know where the nightmare came from. I never have to dig deep.
Wow.
Okay, so now I'm going to play the second one. This one will give you that message about how dangerous you are when you're in the shower. Again, you can get that psycho vibe. So here's the second one.
Anyway, you can imagine what this did to me. I didn't shower for 21 years. I took baths, which I suppose aren't that different. It's still a tub, and it involves hot, soapy water. But a shower with its closed curtain, water peppering the tub floor, and steam climbing the walls. You get lost inside your own head in the shower. Thoughts consume you, and it feels so utterly safe. For a few minutes, you are alone from the world. It's your own private, misty kingdom. But that's what makes the shower dangerous. You're enclosed, vulnerable, naked. You're exposed.
Oh yeah, what's happening, Thomas, is that Nick was playing like his audio story about showers, about like it's a horror story short about showers. But now we're about to play something that this is my second attempt at playing this, where like there's this project I've been working on for the past few weeks for this special, and so I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get it up and see if I can get this up on here. And this was this one basically showcases everything that we covered for the past since the beginning of the FearFans podcast. So without further ado, let me just mute my mic and present it.
Yeah, there was no sound, unfortunately, because you muted your mic. Don, I have another idea that you might be able to share.
Yeah, but here, okay, so yeah, we're having audio issues with the video, like being up with it being presented on here. But thankfully, it's currently uploading as we speak onto my YouTube channel. It should be done real soon, so 10 minutes away before it goes public, and you guys should be able to see it on here.
Don, here's something I can help you out with if you want to have the full sound. Is yes. Are you on the present? Click on the present button first.
Present button?
Or share, yeah.
Yes.
And then go to see you have 3 tabs. You have Microsoft Edge tab or window or entire screen. Go to entire screen.
Okay, let's see if this works.
There's a feature on near the bottom that says also share system audio. Try it that way.
Share a tab instead. It says the share audio. Share.
Also share system audio.
Okay, entire screen. It says to share audio. Share a tab instead.
Well, that's weird.
I'm just telling you what it says.
That's weird because I'm using Microsoft. Which platform are you using? Like, are you using Microsoft Edge?
No, I'm using Google Chrome.
Oh, you're using okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you. You can't.
Yeah.
So if you click on entire screen,
at this point, I feel like it being available on my YouTube channel is our best option.
If when you share full screen, If you just click that box in the bottom right-hand corner that says share audio, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Yeah, this thing's obviously having some issues.
Oh, Chris just showed up.
Yep,
Holy
Chris is here.
cow.
Yep, Chris is here for the end.
Oh my God. How you doing, Chris?
How's it going, man?
Chris
Yeah,
is always
okay.
there for the end.
Hey, we could take a selfie now.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
selfie.
Yep, here, Brady Bunch.
For the 100th episode, of course.
Yep.
All right.
It's the Brady Bunch again.
Right, you guys ready?
Yep.
Okay, hang on.
3.
Wait, I got to put on my Tom's World shirt. No, I'm kidding.
Well, that's a shirt of a different color.
2, 1. Cheese. Got it. Thank you.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, so like I said, obviously that video does not want to play properly on here. So yeah, after the show is done, it'll be available on my YouTube channel.
No
Yeah, I know
worries.
sometimes the videos just, unfortunately, sometimes the videos just don't cooperate.
Yep. Or if we're still going ahead and going to use the new stream service, maybe I could present it on there. See if that works.
You can't, like I said, if anything, Don, here's one other idea I can give to you too, is that even though this is for the 100th episode, especially as we get closer to Halloween, again, if there's a way, I know you said you were having problems trying to send it to me, but I can always have it like how I just played the stories, have it fit on the full screen. Send me a copy of it, over the next couple of days, and I'll have it ready so we could play it at a future time.
Right. And also, you guys will be interested to know that I just ran a poll on my YouTube, and looks like the next episode of FearFans is going to be covering Fright Night.
The original?
Yes.
Of course.
A childhood favorite of mine. I loved it ever since I was 10.
Isn't there only the one with Colin Farrell? And
That's the remake.
No,
there was Yeltsin as well.
No, the one we're covering has Chris Sarandon playing Jerry Dandridge.
The guy
What about
from
Lost
the Princess Bride.
Yep.
Jan also took a picture. Jan also took a snapshot on her side.
All right.
So, thanks, Jan.
Oh yeah, Thomas. If you haven't seen Friday Night, definitely see it. It's directed by Tom Holland, who not Spider-Man Tom Holland. No, I'm talking about director Tom Holland, who also directed Child's Play, the original Child's Play.
But it is the best rendition of the movie as well.
No doubt, no question.
I mean, you got the chick that plays Marcy Darcy from Married with Children in it.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, come on.
That movie came out when I graduated.
When you did what?
When I graduated.
Oh.
When I graduated high school.
When I made my first porn flick, that's when that came out.
Oh my God.
I have a picture
Wow.
to share that week then for that movie.
So Psycho, one of the best horror movies of all time, and it's probably made a lot of people want to lock their doors whenever they shower.
Well, it's just like what that story. It's just like what part of that story I was telling. It just goes to show how amazingly vulnerable you are when you're in the shower.
It is.
Or the bath.
Rockwell even included.
You just never know. There could
included
be
in the
somebody.
song somebody's watching. Yeah.
That's
Like
right.
somebody's watching me. Yeah.
When I'm in the shower, I'm afraid to wash my hair.
Right.
Yep. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, that narrator, David Cummings, I mean, who you just heard, he's a really good professional narrator. He does the No Sleep podcast, and I know what some people say. Yeah, I know what some you guys are probably thinking. He even has a minute. He does sound a lot like Adam West. So, but he's been doing this for like 10 years or so.
Oh yeah,
Adam West.
So that's going to be it for this edition of the FearFans podcast. My one regret is that my little side project I had on here, that music video covering, going over everything that we've covered on the show, decided not to work properly on here. But like I said, it will be available on my YouTube channel. So
exactly,
it's almost done uploading.
Don Elmy.
Yes, go to my YouTube channel, Don Elmy, to check it out.
So youtube.com/the@. Don
Give it a
Elmy.
like.
No spaces, no punctuation.
Like,
If I could also
subscribe,
just
and sign
make,
up for notifications.
Yep. So, hope you guys enjoyed.
If I could just make one quick announcement on two things, in case you guys want to check this out tomorrow night, I'm going to be a guest on. Once again, I'll be back on the show Paranormal Experience with Kat Hobson tomorrow night from Alabama, which I'm looking forward to being a part of. I always have great conversations with Kat, and also I also wanted to let everybody know about this. I know some of you guys know this already, but there are I know many others haven't found out about this because we've made it to the 100th episode. After this, I'm actually going to be taking a hiatus, not just from this show, but from many of the other shows that I do, because right now I'm trying to really work around the clock with these audio stories. Now we're getting closer to the official Halloween season. So I just wanted to let everyone know I need a break from doing this. So I'll be back on this. I definitely will be back, obviously, as we get closer to Halloween. But right now, I just need all the time possible to get these stories done. So, yeah, so in case any of you guys wonder,
you've been working on these stories for ages.
What's that?
I said you've been working on these stories for like ages now.
It's not as easy as it looks, Don. It's a lot of work, and now I'm just trying to really wrap up everything.
Listen,
so,
I gave you some damn good audio for those books. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and so did I. What? Is something wrong with my voice on there?
To edit it.
No,
I edited all the spaces and everything.
No, it's not your stories. It's the stories I've done myself. These are like my early audiobook projects.
Oh, it's all about you, huh?
We didn't talk about Nick Cage's Nick.
No, screw the ones we recorded.
Don't start making things difficult.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's all the hard work you guys put in.
No, in all seriousness, I really do need this break.
Listen,
so
the
I'll be
world
back
is
on.
waiting for Booger. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know, but I'll be.
All right.
I'll eventually.
We're
Be
gonna
back
revenge
soon.
the nerds.
I really need. I just need this well-deserved rest.
I'm kidding.
Okay. All right. Well, that wraps it up for this episode of 100th special episode of the FearFans podcast. Be sure to join us next week as we cover Fright Night. If you haven't seen Fright Night, definitely see it. I cannot seriously, Fright Night cannot recommend it enough, especially if you love vampires. And as a matter of fact,
I don't even have to watch it. I've seen it so many times. I can play it in my head.
I've been watching it.
Cool, Brewster.
Yeah, I've been watching.
You're so cool, Brewster.
Yeah, been watching it since I was 10.
Is that Shaggy?
Yeah. Like I said, I've been watching this ever since I was 10. Love it.
Nice.
Yeah,
Listen, there's no such thing as vampires. I mean, they're just.
Yeah. All right. So have a good night, everybody.
Don,
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Night.